Hi, I'm Nathan Galbraith, and I'm in the RO program here at Penn College.
Okay.
I'm Daryl Breon. I'm in robotics and automation as well.
Awesome. So what do you got here?
Our program here loads empty bottles from over here onto our platter into one of these cylinders. Platter rotates, controlled by the robot in conjunction with PLCs. When it gets over here, the PLC opens up one of these solenoid valves to fill up the bottle with one of 3 different colored waters. We have it running on a timer right now because we didn't have time to implement a sensor.
Right.
After it fills up, it continues to rotate around. When the bottles get underneath this camera over here, the camera detects which color water is in there, sending a message to the robot. And then when it gets around, the robot then takes a cap out of our bottle cap dispenser, places it on the bottle, and then sorts them, places it into our colored box depending on what color water is in it. It's a very long process though. We timed it out. It takes almost exactly 30 minutes to run through a whole.
Wow.
And as you can see, unfortunately, the bottles have a tendency to move, so we sort of have to nudge them a little bit to keep it from catching on the edges and knocking the whole thing over.
So can the camera detect if there's no bottle there? Obviously,
Yeah, we have it set up so that it'll send out one input on one if it's red, a separate input if it's blue, and a third separate input if it's green. If there's nothing there, it doesn't send out any inputs at all.
Okay. And then each subroutine will then move it to a different color box.
Yeah. Yep, we have a subroutine for each colored box. So we have a subroutine for the capping process, a subroutine for the filling process.
Now, what PLC are you using?
We're using the GE. We have.
Do you have VersaPro running on here?
Yes. Of course, this is the score base. Here's VersaPro. This is our main program. There's not really much there, just to call out the subroutine. The subroutine right here, this is actually what runs the platter.
Okay.
So controls like the speed and direction and all that stuff.
Yep. And of course, Scorebase is running the robot.
Yep, Scorebase is running the robot. That's this. Approximately 350 lines of code, so it's not too bad.
Now, does the robot controller talk to the PLC, right? Somehow.
Yes. We have outputs running from the robot over to the PLC to send commands over.
To turn the platter.
Yeah,
basically.
to turn the platter and to open up the solenoids. The camera is controlled by this program here. So you can see the actual picture does not update very often, but it does send out the correct outputs. Like this picture here is probably from like several models ago.
Oh, I see.
Possibly even from like an hour ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't refresh very often. But yeah, you have to go through here. We set up these little rings here so that it knows where to look.
Right. Get the color.
You can teach it the colors. Like if you go into here, I don't know if it'll let me do it in the middle. It's probably will.
Yeah. Cool.
You can teach it the colors, and so that it'll recognize them when they come up later.
Great. All right. Awesome project. All right. Thank you.